Hi, Jesse with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and installing this eTrailer hitch on our 2023 Genesis GV80. Some of the reasons why you might want to install a hitch on a nice vehicle like this Genesis is most likely you'll want to add a bike rack to carry your bikes, or maybe even a cargo carrier just to add some extra cargo space for long road trips. You are also able to do some light duty towing with this hitch. For a closer look at our hitch, it comes with a 2" by 2" opening. That's going to be your standard among any accessories that you might add on. And you can see it has a nice matte black finish, which you might want to opt for a gloss black finish just because everything on the back of the Genesis is a glossy finish. So there is another option like the Curt hitch, which is very similar to this. It just comes in a shinier paint finish. Towards the back here we have a 5/8" pinhole. It's going to be your standard pin size right there. This hitch does not come with a pin and clip included. However, they are available on our website, and many of your accessories that you might buy will come with it. If you look down below, you'll see the safety cable loops. They're pretty well hidden if you're standing up behind the vehicle, but they do stick out and take away some ground clearance. But the loops will fit your clevis style or any other style safety cable that you might have. As for weight capacity, the gross trailer weight will be 6,000 pounds. That's the amount of weight that you can pull behind the hitch. The tongue weight is 900 pounds. That's the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. And those are both pretty high numbers, so I definitely double check your owner's manual just to make sure that what you're loading up your vehicle is also capable of. Now for some measurements. From the ground to the inside of the top of the collar, looks like it's about 13.5 inches. I also measured from the bottom of the safety cable loop to the ground. That was 9 inches, so just keep that in mind. From the center of the pinhole to the edge of the bumper is about 4 inches. So you'll want to keep that in mind for any foldable accessories you have, just to ensure that they aren't making contact with the vehicle. If this installation isn't something that you want to tackle yourself, feel free to check out our dealer locator. If you do want to see how we got ours put up, then feel free to follow along. The first step of our installation today is going to remove the exhaust from the rubber isolators. I sprayed some lubricant on the rubber beforehand. You could also use some soapy water or something like that. But I have a pry bar here. You could also use a exhaust hanger removal tool, but this is what I'm using today. I just slid that pry bar under and used this to get some leverage. And I also have a cam strap supporting the exhaust just so it doesn't fall down and maybe damage something farther up. So we got that, and then to lower this, you'll actually have to push the exhaust back or pull this part of the bumper out just so it will be able to fall behind it. Along with those two rearmost hangers, we're going to be removing these two here towards the middle. Same process. Now with those hangers all disconnected, I'm going to remove this little metal bezel. That's going to allow us to be able to drop the exhaust. So there's just two 10mm nuts. Lift the exhaust up, and that bezel should just slide right out. Just wanted to mention, while you lower this exhaust, it is quite heavy back here, so make sure you got a nice firm support on it as you lower your ratchet strap. Now we have to get access to the weld nuts that we're going to be bolting the hitch into. You'll see this kind of rubbery pad here. They should just tear right off. If you're having issues, you can run a razor blade up there. There's 2 holes, and then there's 2 pads, so 4 holes each. Once you have both pads off, I like to take a wire brush, run it up there just in case there's any corrosion or anything like that. And then I also will take my bolts that we're going to be using, thread them in. I'll work them in and out just until they're easy to thread in by hand. That way we don't have to worry about getting stuck with the hitch up above our heads. And you'll also see this alignment pin here. That's going to be in the way of these two holes. So what I like to do, I have a socket. Any socket that fits over here will do fine. And I'll bend that alignment pin down. This is just here for assembly purposes. So if it breaks off, it's fine. I just like to bend it down out of the way. Now's a good time to get an extra set of hands. I have my friend Brad here to help me out. I have the hardware here, the conical tooth washer with these teeth facing towards the hitch. So we're just going to lift it up into place, up over the exhaust. So the tolerance is pretty tight here. I'm going to let him get a bolt started, and then I might grab a dead blow to kind of tap it into place. So we were able to get it up into place. We used a transmission jack. You could also, if you're working on the ground, use a floor jack just to put some pressure on this side and then give it a few taps with a dead blow. That should make it pop up. But now that we got all the bolts started, I'll take my 3/4 inch socket, get these snugged down. Once we have both sides tightened down, we'll need to go back over them with a torque wrench. If you don't have one, they are available on eTrailer, or you can always rent one from your local auto parts store. But I'll go ahead and torque each bolt down to the specification listed in the instructions. Now I've got the exhaust back up, the hangers reinstalled, and those two bezels bolted back up. So that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the eTrailer hitch on our 2023 Genesis GV80.